Hello Internet. Going to do a quick test here. About a 20-minute drive from a nearby neighborhood to the School of Rock over in the Kingwood area. This will involve some city streets and highway driving. We're doing a test of Tesla's full self-driving FSD Beta 11.3.6. If you're not familiar with this is Tesla's fully autonomous driving system. It is still in beta, so I have to keep my eyes on the road. This camera up here will watch my eyes, and I have to give a tug to the wheel to let it know that I'm paying attention. But otherwise, it's fully autonomous. It's handling the steering wheel and the accelerator and brake pedal, and it's wanting to go down this street for some reason. So I'm going to put that route in again here. I didn't really want to go through the neighborhood, so there we go. So yeah, the software will drive the steering wheel, do the turn signals, operate the accelerator pedal, the brake pedal, all by itself. You can see the planned path here, this blue line. If you're seeing this blue line and this blue steering wheel up here, that lets you know that the system is driving. It recognizes not only lanes, but traffic lights, stop signs, speed limit signs, other vehicles, the types and size of the vehicles. It will do lane changes, turn left and right onto the proper streets. It will do unprotected left turns, even through a median, such as up here on the left. It'll go through a median there, coming from one side of the street to the other. It will do unprotected right turns on red once the traffic is clear, after coming to a complete stop, of course. If you have any questions about full self-driving or Teslas or EVs in general, just put them down in the comments down below. I'd love to answer those when I get a chance. You can also send me a private message through my website, kevingolden.com. Just click the contact button. And while we're here at the stop, I also want to mention I do also provide voiceover services, and I can do character voices like Mickey or Goofy or Mater for your child or family member for a special occasion. It can be custom message. You just tell me what you want it to say, and I can make you a message, send it to your voicemail or whatever, or email. Also do voiceovers for audiobooks and all types of services for businesses. So if you're interested in that, just check that out at kevingolden.com. But yeah, if you haven't already, give us a follow or subscribe, depending on which platform you're watching this on. And you'll get notified whenever I put up more content. We do not only the full self-driving tests, but also questions in general about Teslas. I talk about cruising, going on cruises. I'll do voiceovers and impressions. I have discussions over Disney World, Apple computers, all kinds of topics. So be sure and subscribe or follow so you can get all that great content. At least I think it's great. I hope you enjoy it. So yeah, so far we've turned out of a neighborhood, turned on to a somewhat busy street, and then turned again onto a very busy street. This is a 2-lane in each direction with a middle turn lane street in our area that's extremely busy, especially during rush hour. And we're headed towards the interstate, which we'll be taking for a few minutes north of here to get off at some more city streets. But so far I have not driven. The car is doing all the driving, the stopping, the going, the turning of the wheel, the turn signals, and everything. You'll notice on here kind of a chevron marking in the blue area whenever the vehicle is going to start slowing down, and then just solid blue when it's going forward. If you zoom in here, let's see if we can see. It's going to let me do it. Yeah, you can kind of see up here the lights. It shows it as red. As we get a little bit closer, and it can see around this truck, it will also pick up the left turn signal over here. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. It knows the difference. See, it shows the left turn signal is red, and the signal's going straight is green. So it knows the difference between the two. So if I was turning left, for example, it would pull into that left turn lane and wait until that light turned green. Even if the other two lights going forward were green, it wouldn't go until the left turn signal was green. It will do an unprotected left turn on a blinking yellow light, blinking yellow left turn or left arrow. It will wait its turn at stop signs. You know, following all of the the laws around when it's your turn to go. Here you can see the other cars coming each direction. Notices the cones on the side of the road here in this construction area. It will see trash cans. It will see pets. It will see humans, of course, and avoid them. So the number one goal, priority for this system is don't hit anything. People, cars, walls, or anything. Just don't hit anything. It's fairly good at going around things that are in the road if they're a decent sized object. If they're somewhat small, it may not see it, or may not recognize that it's something in the road just yet, but they are continuing to train the system with more data, that being video mainly, from all of our cars as beta testers, so that over time it will begin to recognize more and more objects, determine what they are. Like it can tell the difference between a car, a truck, a minivan, a semi, a motorcycle. So it's already doing that pretty well. The difference between humans and animals, and so forth. So it's pretty impressive. It's gotten a lot better in the last, since November when I first got it. Way better since a year ago, when other early adopters were testing it and posting their videos on YouTube. It's made significant improvements. So yeah, I'm excited to see what the next 12 months holds. Some think we might be to the point of robo-taxi, meaning a car can come pick you up without a driver. Others feel that we won't be quite that far in the next 12 months, but if it takes 2 years, 3 years, I would hate for it to take that long, but if it did, so what? In 3 years, the ability to have a car come pick you up autonomously and take you to any place in the country is just phenomenal. Never would have dreamed when I was a teenager, first learning how to drive, that we would have the technology for cars to drive themselves, pick somebody up, take them somewhere. And this is pretty revolutionary when you think about the implications of it, because somebody who can't drive yet, or doesn't have the ability to drive because of maybe a medical condition, now they have the freedom to go places without having to necessarily ask for somebody to take them. So whether that be an elderly person, or somebody whose vision is not good enough for driving, or maybe they're they just have a physical condition that prevents them from driving safely, now they would have the ability to just pick up their phone and request a car to come pick them up. I mean, I know they could do that with Uber drivers today, but imagine being able to do that for less money than what an Uber costs. And some people aren't comfortable riding with other people, and in this case they wouldn't have to ride with somebody else. They would just be riding in the car by themselves. So and for less money than an Uber. So that's going to be, I think, pretty impactful. I suspect that in the not too distant future, less and less people will be purchasing cars because they'll be able to get where they need to go using a robo-taxi for quite a bit less money per month than it would be for a car payment, plus insurance, plus gas, plus maintenance. You know, when you add all that up, it's quite a bit. And if you can just hire a robo-taxi to come pick you up for a lot less money, then why would you go through the hassle of having a vehicle and that payment every month? So yeah, I think that's going to change a lot of things. And of course, Tesla's working on robots now that eventually will be able to not only work in factories, that's the obvious thing, but also do work around the house or go to the grocery store and get your groceries. And they can get in the autonomous car, the robo-taxi car, and the car can drive them to the store, and the robots get your groceries, puts them into the car, and then car drives the robot back home, and the robot takes the groceries out of the car, puts it in the cabinet, makes dinner, and vacuums the floor. So I know it seems a little far-fetched, but you know, it could happen. Okay, I stepped on the brake by accident there because these people were acting like they were going to come in my lane. I'm going to re-engage there. That was not the car's fault. That was me accidentally stepping on the brake. But so far, I've not taken over or had to apply the accelerator or anything else. So I'm going to speed up a little bit, and I am going to turn on the turn signal to go ahead and get over because people behind me won't let me in. This lane runs out here. Alright, there we go. And I just realized we will not be getting onto the freeway because I'm only going up one exit, so it's going to stay on the feeder, which is what it should have done. It's actually wanting to go all the way up to the feeder. I'm going to take over just for routing purposes. I'm not sure why it's not taking me. Okay, now it sees it. I don't know why it wasn't taking me down this road, but this is just a little loop around here that was a little bit quicker than going up the feeder. So the only reason I took over. It would have worked, it would have gotten me there, it just would have added a few minutes, and I'm trying to save time, so that's the only reason I took over. It's now driving again, as you can see, with the blue. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I may have to take over. This is, I'm going to slow down a little bit. This is a construction zone, and I'm giving it a, okay, yeah, I'm taking over. It's, that's hard to drive through even as a human, so okay, there we go. Yeah, that was kind of messy back there with those construction barrels. First time I came through there, I had a hard time trying to figure out exactly where to go because this is the wrong side of the street. This is not where we're supposed to be. We should be over there, but they're rebuilding all the streets through here. On this loop to expand it and make more room for all the new traffic from all the people moving in from California, New York, and New Jersey down to Texas. So I'll be glad when this is finished. But like I said, it's still in beta. They're still working out the kinks. That's why we got at least a year to go before this will be ready for primetime robo-taxi service. But you know, the vast majority of the time I am not having to drive or take over, which is yeah, it keeps wanting to get over there because that's technically where I should be. It's using map data. It knows I'm on the wrong side of the street, so okay, I'm taking over. So yeah, you can see it's not perfect, but you know, you can understand why it's confused because we're on the wrong side of the street right now. And it's trying to get us to the right side of the street. And technically there is a road over there, and it sees it, So it was trying to put us over there, but it would have gone through the barrels to get there. So obviously that's not what we want to do. So I will re-engage here once we get past this stoplight. All right, light's finally green. Let's see how it handles this. Yeah, it's confused, so I'm gonna take over. Only because of the construction. So, okay. Now that we're back on the road without all of the, without me being on the wrong side of the road due to the construction, I'm gonna turn it back on and I'm sure it's gonna be just fine. Again, you can see here where it knows that my light ahead is green and the left turn light is red. You see the difference between the truck and the van over here? It's actually a Jeep, but it saw it as a van. It sees this van over here to my left, that car up there. Of course, the curb to the right and all the driveways to the right. See here the chevron showing that it's slowing down, and that black line is where it's going to stop at. And then here we have the yellow markings indicating the ultrasonic sensor showing how far away from the curb that I am. In newer Model 3s, they've taken those ultrasonic sensors out and they're just using cameras only for determining how close you are to objects around you, like curbs and parking lots, parking lot blocks, and or like backing into your driveway or something like that. It's pretty funny when you watch other drivers. A lot of times they'll be weaving back and forth, not like in a drunk kind of way, but just like, you know, moving back and forth because they're not perfectly centered. And the Tesla, it just stays right down the center, unless it's trying to avoid something, of course. But I think ultimately, once they've worked out all of the kinks and where it can handle 100% of the situations, it's going to be a much safer set of roads and highways once should be turning right here. Once you know, most vehicles are autonomous, and because most accidents are human error, people just being ridiculous, you know, driving too fast, driving too close, things like that. So yeah, I look forward to that day. Well, we are here, and with the exception of that kind of weird section there, due to the you know, the road, me being on the wrong side of the road because of the construction, it drove all the way here with no issues. That was the one part that it couldn't quite handle because it couldn't figure out how to put me on the right side of the road. So there we go. Well, again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. Check me out at kevingolden.com, and like this video if you like this content, and subscribe or follow to see more like it. Thanks for watching.